Feeling my way through the darkness, guided by a beating heart. I can't tell where the journey.
Hello everyone, this is Joe LaRosa with LaRosa Realty, and this is our LaRosa Realty coaching channel. And today's August 25th, and I wanted to be able to create a video for this week to follow up from last week's video, which was discussing the importance of momentum and how to be able to establish it on a daily basis. So once you start to build off of that momentum that we talked about last week, and you're on that roll, one of the biggest roadblocks that you can ever come across is yourself, is your mindset. You know, you can go through the actual scripts, you can start reading them on the phone live with a prospect, and it could just, a nightmare can happen. You can just fumble your way through it. You get this very difficult objection and you have no idea how to overcome it. And now all of a sudden, this negative thought basically now starts to kind of sink into the back of your subconscious or back into your head, and it just really takes over. So I want to go over association. Now, we talked about it in the Do It Now series where, you know, I gave an example where I had some folks stand up and ask, well, when you think of sales, what do you think of? And many folks that were volunteering, they always said, hey, car salesperson. I said, great, all right, well, so we associate sales with a car salesperson. Well, give me 3 words that describe who is a car salesperson, or how would you describe them? Many times we got aggressive, connivers, pushy, looking out for themselves, and so on. Well, then I would always ask, well, give me 3 words that describe who you are. And I'd always get the response of, well, I'm an honest, hardworking, caring, driven person. Now, you see, those words are the complete opposite of what we associate a car salesperson with. That's okay, right? However, the problem is we associate sales to a car salesperson. So there's a link there. Car salesperson, sales, and I'm doing sales, so that means I must be like a car salesperson. Now, you may not think that on the outside, or it may not be the first thought that comes across your mind, but I can guarantee you it's planted in your subconscious. So how do we overcome this? Well, the first key, like I've always said, even with momentum, is understanding it. So if you understand it, you have the ability now to be able to overcome it. And that's why we really go over, obviously, the importance and the power of affirmations and about positive mindset. And really, it's so important to be able to visualize really exactly what you want to accomplish, why, what's the purpose, so that you can be able to be pulled towards your goals. You know, I was flying to New York this past week, and I ended up seeing a movie on the plane called Tomorrowland. It's a movie with George Clooney. And in this movie, a beautiful quote that I heard was from a little girl who was talking to her father, who was just being laid off. And the father was going through, I guess, some downtime and so on. And the little girl reminded the father of a story that he would always tell her. And the story goes like this, very short and sweet. If you have 2 wolves and they're going to be fighting each other, one wolf is darkness and despair, and the other wolf is light and hope. Which wolf will win the fight? And the answer is very simple. It's whatever wolf you decide to feed. Because whichever wolf you decide to feed will be able to have the energy, the power, and the endurance to win any kind of a fight and overcome. So you have to keep that in mind. Whatever wolf in your head that you feed is going to win the battle. So if you go through a bad experience, if you look at your numbers and you know what, I'm at number 11, I'm at number 12, I'm at number 13. 13 calls I made today, and I've gotten 13 contacts, and I've gotten 0 leads. Guess what? You're building negative thoughts. You're creating negative momentum. That's all BS. That's the wrong belief system to have. You got to keep that positive mindset. You got to be able to feed that positive wolf. Because we know with our numbers, hey, listen, it may not be until your 13th, 14th, 15th, heck, it could even be your 25th, 26th, 27th call till you actually are able to convert that contact into an actual lead and make that appointment. And guess what? Then your next 2 or 3 will be the same thing. And that's what happens, right? It's momentum. So really, I guess the key for today's message is to understand the importance of associations. And we got to make sure that we really associate the positive thoughts, the positive mindset, or how important these scripts really are, and how we're going to have to keep practicing and get better and better and better and better. And we could do this. We can do this because you know what? You were in my Do It Now class, and you saw on that last day, really, when we had everybody just start calling our center of influence, it was like an amazing experience. Everybody in the class was generating at least 2 or 3 leads. So we know you can do it. But in that class, it was easy because everybody was around you. Proximity is power, and you were able to kind of feed off each other's energy. Hey, so-and-so just got a lead. So-and-so just got a lead over here. And you were able to kind of keep that momentum going. So associate the success, the goals that you want to accomplish, to this hard work. This is what you're going to have to do. Reading through these scripts, making your phone calls every single day, 2-3 hours, all right, prospecting, all right, then role playing. That is what it's going to take. Associate that to your success and to your goals, and you'll be pulled to them. You won't have to try to go after them. You'll be automatically pulled to them, and that's the difference. So I hope you enjoyed this week's message, and we'll be sending out another video message probably next week. And I want to remind all of our folks that if you have not yet already, you can upload your reports on the coaching channel. Just go ahead and upload your Excel file. And if you would like to schedule a time to contact me, meet with me in person, over the phone, we can review your numbers, kind of see how you're doing over the last few weeks, last few months, and so on. So hope everyone's having a great day, and we'll talk soon. Take care.
But I know where to start. They tell me I'm too young to understand.